some students who would be better off in another different kind of school. We do, I think, a very good job with quite a broad range, but no school is the right school for everyone, and no school can be all things to all people. It is important to have a meaningful choice. Another area I'd note is simply, and this is very much in my mind, the very small independent sector that we have here compared with most other countries. And I'm not just talking about the developed part of the world, I'm also talking about third world countries, where developments in education in recent years, it has been demonstrated, have been driven by a lot of low-cost independent schools. Some of you would be aware, in Australia there's a much larger independent sector, largely because of more generous government funding arrangements and a sliding scale of funding according to the perceived wealth of the schools. In that country, 35% of all students, 40% of secondary school students, and in capital cities, 45% of all secondary school students are actually in non-government school. And the purely financial outcome of that is that on average the government pays less than 50% of the cost of educating a child in a government school for each child in a non-government school. So this saves the government a very significant amount of money and also increases realistic choices for people in the process. With choice, there is also that element of competition. I have been told by a few people that Australians are known for their competitiveness. And I'm certainly very pleased to see that we do not shy away from this at King's, and that we are a school that certainly aims to have competition, which accepts that not all students are going to win all the time, and that part of their education is developing the resilience and the skills to deal with disappointment, because we all know that in life there are disappointments. Last year we hosted the World Rowing Championships, of course, at Karapiro. We were just talking about that a bit earlier. Whilst the financial outcome might not have been what was hoped for, I will say this, that it was one of the most outstanding sporting events that I have ever attended, and an absolute credit to everyone involved with it, from those organising at the top level right through to the volunteers who helped out. It was just a magnificent sporting event. But I'll just tell you one little story from it. My wife rowed for Australia and coached Australian crews and is still involved in rowing at the very highest levels. She's currently a national selector still for Australia. She's just finishing off her term before she transfers, I hope, her interest and attention here. But we were watching one of the races. It was the men's lightweight eights, and it was a great race. And Germany ended up winning this race, and the Australian crew came second, only about half the length away. And it was the first time Australia had won a medal in this event for many years. And as the crew crossed the line, they were pretty happy. They've won the silver and the arms are up and they're all celebrating. And my wife said to me, they look far too happy about coming second. Just in conclusion, I will say one other comment about education, and that's something else that I really like about here, is that how education is very much on the national agenda. Obviously, I think it's terribly important, but it's not just people involved in education. I'm really pleased to see that it is on the front page. Now, sometimes some things that get on the front page I wouldn't think deserve to be there, but there are also some very serious and wide-ranging and far-reaching educational issues which I see being covered in the mainstream media in this way. And I think that's a really positive thing, because education is the future, and it does require continual debate and continual reflection and continual refinement. It's something that we are getting better at, both at the individual level and I think at the broader systemic level. But it's a really good thing to have it right out there as being one of the big issues for this country to consider, because I don't think its importance can be understated. Thank you very much.